Hey guys, it's Miss Glossip. We are on our third snow day this week. I hope you're enjoying it a little bit and at least getting to do something fun in the snow or spend some time with your family. We are going to continue our long vowel pattern words today, and we're going to talk about a new pattern that we haven't seen yet. And don't worry, when we get back to school, we will continue focusing on this and practicing it. So you'll get a lot of practice with it. This won't be the only day. So we're going to work with the long A sound today. And we know long A says A. Let's look at this new word. The cups and the teapot are sitting on top of a tray. Let's look at the word tray and say the phonemes. And we know phonemes are sounds that we hear. A. In this word, AY says A. A. Okay, let's continue looking at that. AY says A as in hey. A. Okay, I want you guys to say it with me this time. AY says A as in hey. A. Okay, let's practice blending and reading some words that have the AY letters that say A. J, A, J, A, J. Gr, A, gray. D, A, day. Dr, A, dray. St, A, stay. Cool A, clay. Nice job reading AY words. If you want to take a second and go back and read these on your own, go ahead and pause the video. That would be a great time to do that on your own. Okay, guys, if you notice on the screen, we have a paint can, and we want to listen to the word paint and put the word paint in sound boxes. Okay, let's do it together. Paint. P-A-N-T. Okay, I heard 4. Okay, let me get my marker here. Paint. P-A-N-T. Okay, paint. How's that look? No, look. Pa-and-t. Pant. I wrote the word pant. Oh, I'm trying to write paint. You could be thinking we've learned a lot of different long A patterns, but this is a new one that we haven't seen yet. Paint has an AI in the middle of the word. When we put this together, the AI is going to say A. Pa-a-n-t. Paint. Let's look at it again. AI says A as in pale. AI says A as in pale. All right, let's practice blending and reading some words that have AI that says A. Ta-a-o, ta-a-o, tail. Tur-a-o, trail. Pull-a-n, plane. Tur-a-n, train. Air. Cha-air, chair. Very nice. A-n, rain. A-n, ran. Pa-in, pin. Pa-a-n, pain. Okay, in this word we see UP is up, upstairs, upstairs. Crayons, crayons. Okay, it's time for our challenge words. You guys know our challenge words are a time where we get to read on our own, read in our mind, or you can even read out loud since you're not at school. And when I snap, you say the word. Okay, let me get my pen. Okay, let's start with this word. I'll give you just a second to read it in your mind. Okay. Say it. All right. The word is sneak. 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 If you said sneak, you got it right. Good job. Okay, next word. Read it in your mind. Okay. Snuck. 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 Okay, next word. Read it in your mind. Okay, say it. Okay. Three. Three. If you said three, you're right. Okay, this word. Okay. Chases. If you said chases, you are correct. Chases. 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 Okay. Okay, go ahead and say it. Takes. 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 Very good. Very last word. Read it in your mind. If you thought the word was jumped, you are correct. Awesome job reading the words today. Okay, let's talk about contractions again. We've talked about contractions the last few days. So let's read the contractions and the sentences together. So as I read, you read at home. All right. It's, didn't, let's, wasn't, it's, didn't, let's, wasn't, it's time to play with clay. Let's read the sentence one more time, much more smoothly. It's time to play with clay. Very nice. I want you guys to think after you read the sentence, what did the boy play with? What was it time for? See if you can remember without reading the sentence again. Okay, it's time to blend and read. This is the time, if you're watching the video by yourself, that you'll want to get someone else who lives in your home with you, mom, dad, grandma, grandpa, aunt, uncle, older sibling, and I want you to read the words next to the heart, the circle, the rectangle, the square, and the triangle. Read those words to your family member, and I want them to write down any words that you struggle with. That way, when we get back to school, I'll have a good idea of how we're doing on reading these words on our own, and I'll know where we need to start with our instruction. Okay, so that is the first thing that you're going to need on your paper today. So go ahead and click pause on the video. The picture of the words will be attached on Dojo so that you can see them more clearly. Practice that and then come back and click play when you're ready to finish up our lesson. All right, guys, it's time for the spelling portion of our lesson. We are going to practice writing some of the long A words that we practice reading today together. Okay, so the first word that you're going to write is day. Now remember, we're listening for the sounds. We're putting each sound we hear in its own sound box, but we're focusing also on spelling the words correctly. So for the word day, let's say it together. Day, d-a. I heard two sounds. So if I was doing this at home, I would draw two boxes. I already have my boxes here for me, and I would put the first sound I hear in the first box. And when I say day, the first sound I hear is d. So I will put my D in here because I know D is the letter that makes the d sound, D. Okay, d-a. I hear a long A. And I know right away that it's going to have the letter A here, but I don't think that looks right. So I'm going to remember what I think the word day has looked like when I've seen it when I've been reading before. And I know that day has the AY instead of the AI. And that's just something I can remember from seeing that word. Okay, day. Very good. Word number 1 is completed for you guys. The next word that you're going to write is play. Let's say it together. Play. Pull a. Play. Go ahead and you can put that in sound boxes and write the letters of the word play. I'll give you guys a hint. In the word play, the A sound that you hear is an AY. Okay. Word number 3 is rain. Say it with me. Rain. N. Rain. I heard 3 sounds. I will also give you a hint. In the word rain, the long A sound that we hear is AI. Okay. All right. That was word number 3, rain. Word number 4 is chair. 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 Go ahead, and that's word number 4, chair. Again, parents, the words are right down here at the bottom. So if you were able to keep up, you can grab them down there. You can pause the video, rewind it, whatever you need to do. We're going to go ahead and move on to our sentence writing, and you can always go back and pause if you need to. Okay, the sentence that we're going to write today is, my dog plays with his tail. Let's count the words. My dog plays with his tail. Wow. All right. I want you guys to think about when you're writing this sentence about having correct path of movement, that your letters are written correctly. Even if you don't have lines, you don't want them going all over your paper. It's important that I can read the sentence that you're writing. Make sure that you have a capital at the beginning of your sentence or on names, and try to think, is this a telling sentence, a question? What type of punctuation should you put at the end of this sentence? Again, I will tell you the sentence. It's, my dog plays with his tail. All right, you have some of those AI and AY words in there to practice writing. Okay, pause the video if you're not quite ready. We do not have a word sort for you to do today, but I want you to follow along with me. If we were doing this in class, you guys would have your letters and you'd be able to move them around. So if you want to take the time to write out these letters and cut them out, it's great practice for the students to manipulate those on their own as I'm doing it. But if not, that's okay. They can just watch as I do it on the screen. And I'm sorry, some of these tools are a little slow moving, so you'll have to bear with me as we're doing it here. Okay. All right, students, we have the word ran. Ran. And we're going to change the A to an AI. So I'm going to take this A and I'm going to make it AI instead. So the word ran completely changed. See if you can think about what word it just changed to. You're right. If you said rain, you're right. By adding the I behind the A, we changed the word ran to rain. Okay, let's add a T to the beginning of this. Think in your mind, what word do we have now? You're right. Train. Train. Okay, we're going to change the N. Okay, change the N, and we're going to change it to a L. Think in your mind, what word do we have now? Yes, it's trail. Very good. Okay, now we're going to remove the T. Think in your mind, what word do we have now? You're right, it's rail. Okay, now we're going to remove the R, and we're going to add an AS to the beginning. Think in your mind, read it. What word do we have now? You're right. It's sail. Let's change the S to a T. What word do we have now? See if you can read it in your mind. Tail. You're right. Tail. Tail. Very good. Okay, now we're going to add an S, or AS, sorry, not ANS, AS to the end of the word. Tails. Tails. Now the word is tails. I hope you were able to follow along and solve some of those words as I was creating them. That was fun. The final part you have today is a story. The story's title today is titled Silly Pup. And this story is it, this story is a fun story about a person who found a dog, and the dog was plain, but he didn't care, and he decided to name the pup and take him home with him. So I think you guys are really going to enjoy this story today. So what you'll do is you'll first start by reading the story 3 times, and each time you read the story, you can color in a smiley or on your paper, or you can just keep track of how many times you've read it, and then you're going to go back and answer the questions. In class, the students know that it's so important that when they answer questions, they not only have to answer the question, but they have to provide text evidence. So since we didn't do a sort today, I want you to go ahead and answer the question on their paper, but under each question, I want them to write text evidence, and I want them to tell me what evidence in the text or in the story proved their answer. We expect answers to be in full sentences, so sometimes restating the question helps to get those answers in full sentences. And again, today, I want to see that text evidence since we didn't have a word sort to do. I hope you guys have a great day tomorrow. I hope you're enjoying working at home with family, and I hope to see you in class hopefully the next day. I'm hoping not too much snow comes and we can get back to school. Bye, guys.